Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Egletons. Playing today, spawning down the bottom, we've got VeeDemo with the Brits, who's got Special Service, Polish Cavalry, and Australian Defence. On the top side is WeakTendon with Dak, who's got Elite Forces. Oh, locked in there to Elite Forces. This is a Patreon backup submitted game in terms of rankings. VeeDemo is 650 and WeakTendon is just below 800. So early Crutcherton here. I do think there's quite a lot of value for a Crutcherton on this map. It feels like you can contest the edge of this map a lot better when you've got the Crutcherton. A little bit of a hiccup with this movement with some of the trees in the way. Survives. I think the Tommies could probably just stand there and win the fight, but they fall back to some cover. They are going to be fighting with the elevation disadvantage, and here comes a reinforcement squad to make it even worse. So I think there's a well-timed retreat. I think I probably would just stay there with the section, just scrapped it out from the open. Let's see, repositioning to cover there. Repositioning to cover, like when you can run forwards, that's a bit more sensible, and when reinforcements are more likely to come from the complete opposite side, but they could flank your cover position. Makes it a little bit less valuable. So I think that was like a fair situation there for VeeDemo, staying in the fight, trying to do some damage to the squad before the second squad arrived to support, and as soon as it arrived, overwhelming numbers, decided to retreat. Because you do kind of want to get some health damage on these guys. Otherwise, next time you come out, you're probably just going to lose again, like, pretty high chance. So you kind of want to abuse the fact that your retreat point's so close by, and you'll be able to return to action and hopefully win the next time you come up. But this is maybe not ideal. Again, allowing two squads to fight against your one. While this has been happening though, the sapper's been capping away. It definitely would have considered chucking a mine down like here-ish. Trying to catch the Crutcherton next time it comes out. Okay, so locking in there to Special Service and getting out some SSB commandos. Let's push. Again, I would try to get like everything coming out in one big group here.
We're losing a munitions point.
Just, if you have to wait 5 seconds for the SSBs to catch up, it's just gonna make everything go a bit smoother. Ooh, but that was a late retreat from that Panzergrenadier, and they get wiped. So post-nerf, I've barely seen any SSBs this patch after they had their camouflage nerfed, even though it's still way better than everybody else's camouflage.
We have commandos causing unrest in the officers' mess.
Just the battle group at the moment doesn't have like enough late game, I think. So you can do pretty well for the first like 15-20 minutes with it, but it seems to fall off after that, and it makes it hard to justify selecting it. Requires a bit more brain power for you to constantly be running around with these guys in cover and looking for ambush situations as well, but this squad was AFK for a very long time there. It's a bit of a problem. This is generally a better range for palm greens as well in close quarters like that than the Tommy.
The enemy have taken our territory.
Maybe the Tommy could win if he had a training upgrade, but no, probably not. Oh, there was a mine down here. Okay. It was further back. Crutcherton down. That's perfect. Oh my goodness, he's gone for a Command 8 rad. This is a terrible idea. Just doesn't have nearly enough of a front line. And I just think the Command 8 rad's... it's okay, but it's very situational. Usually this early is not the right situation in 1v1 because your enemy will end up getting a light vehicle, and then you've just got not nearly enough defenses to hold the light vehicle off, but we'll see how it goes here. You see we got the Brens coming along on the infantry sections. Definitely be seeing a lot more Bren play in this patch. Too many windows on this side for that to be a good engagement for WeakTendon, so he's getting himself into a bit of trouble here, but Command 8-Rad going out to the edge and capping is actually maybe a decent play. Oh, he's gone for an assault Bren half-track call-in. So if VeeDemo is going for a light vehicle, that could be extremely good. Ooh! The retreat was a little bit too late there. Tried to vanish, but too slow. Good use of the half-track for healing there from WeakTendon. They are pretty squishy when they're down to 3 models. It's got another squad of them immediately here, VeeDemo. Machine gun on that rad, just chipping away here against this isolated sapper. And it looks like maybe WeakTendon is like, is he baiting me into a light vehicle right now by taking this bad engagement? That's what I'd be thinking. It's not the case, but easily could be. So yeah, definitely a bit of an unusual early game for both these players. Looks like they're both going kind of light on combat-capable light vehicles. Maybe slightly light on palm greens as well for this battle group. Another predictive grenade going astray. SSB slightly out of cover for too long, didn't get the ambush bonus there. I think the Vickers is actually generally like worse than the Thompsons. That was always my experience. When they're 3 models, they're not that good because as they drop models, the Vickers becomes a larger and larger part of their DPS. Okay, lose another one. Was that to a mine? I can't see a crater there, but it's a bit hard to see under the fog. Chasing down for the 250 kill, and he gets it. Bit of a bad chase from the assault greens as well. Here is the big power spike. The CWT, the Bren up section side. This is extremely powerful in anti-infantry. The real strengths of it is that the Bren can fire on the move, and it doesn't have any moving penalties, so it's just a huge amount of DPS. Traffic jam here might allow a snare to come off. Yes, it does. Trying to scarper away. Does give it a speed buff. I think the engine damage is still remaining. That's why it's moving so slowly here. And ends up going down. His armor's not that sturdy on the rear. So, a lot of casualties on both sides here. 2 Crunchitsons going down for WeakTendon as well as a Palmgren, was it? And the 250. VeeDemo now suffering an SSB and a CWT. I'd say with the CWT, you really need to be on time with it. Because getting it, closer to the 9-minute mark when this one arrived means that if the DAC player was going for like an 8-rad or something like that, 8-rad could already be on the field by the time CWT hits. You really want to be hitting it closer to like that 6-minute 30 mark to get some damage done before you get counted. But, you know, seeing the assault green half-track call-in, it will give you confidence to go for the COH3 really early, so you know you're not going to be up against a Panzerjäger call-in. This gives you a lot more freedom to operate aggressively.
Resources denied. Territory destroyed.
Alright, kind of getting destroyed there by the SSBs, and then they're getting out. So we've got a healthy amount of resources coming in though, thanks to that middle fuel.
Training complete. Our infantry.
I think this is the most I've ever seen the Command 8 Res machine gun go to work so far in a game. 3 kills on that. I don't think any of them are from
losing a capture point.
the artillery. I think they're all from the machine gun. So WeakTendon could be getting those medkits going about now. Yep. One there. Very, very strong as a map control tool. Just always coming into your fights full health thanks to those medkits. Means you bleed so much less. One of the real strengths of this battle group. Not just the skirmisher package, the healing is also extremely good. But you see maybe one of the downsides of SSBs, the fact that DAC have repairs on all of their infantry. Means that they can get rid of those flag destructions pretty easily. Doesn't slow them down as much as it does Wehrmacht. Makes me wonder if maybe, you know, DAC should have change in their repair capabilities so only Panzer can repair them or something. Bit slow dodging away, but second shot misses anyway.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
SSB's getting a bit of an ambush happening there. That's a solid stun nade. Good reaction times from VeeDemo though. Oh, he stunned himself. Wow, I thought he was far enough away. Oops. Wonder how many points the Command 8 Rat has charged up here. Okay, cheeky satchel charge. What are those called? I forget what they're called. I think there's a special name. Lose bombs? Is that what it is? Uses the arty. Might be better like just putting the rate of fire buff on one of these squads. Okay, Panzer 3 being brought in by WeakTendon. He's going to do some tank riding to help get these guys onto the front lines a bit earlier. Sniper from VeeDemo. I've seen very, very little of the sniper, just because it's still got that bug where it can end up crawling around on its belly. It just requires that extra step of micro to interrupt the crawl, and it's just not something you want to be worried about when trying to control your army. Otherwise, I think it's like okay as a unit. And I imagine once they patch that, I'll probably see it a bit more, but right now as it stands, it's just too much of a micro headache to be worthwhile. Another Kranschützen. I'd say generally you don't want to be rebuilding Kranschützen. Like maybe in the late game if your enemies like lost quite a lot of stuff. Or you both lost quite a lot of stuff and they just don't have that much to contest the edge of the map anymore. It'd be good for swallowing up the map. But not so good at this timing. Okay, P3 zips around. Oh boy, Palm Greens go down to the Bren while the Panzer 3 is making this move. Panzer 3 doesn't have a machine gun upgrade, so getting off to the side like this is not actually doing that much damage. But that's a good hit from the main gun. Loose bomb connecting there. Not quite enough for an engine crit though. And he's getting cold feet. Pulling back with the Panzer 3 here. Don't know what the cooldown is on the loose bomb, but
We just lost an anti-tank gun. The dead drops shall provide vital equipment for our forces.
maybe could have hung in there and killed off the AT gun with the Panzer III. I don't know if he needed to be that concerned, but fair enough. Backs away. We're at that timing where VeeDemo could quite easily have a Crusade or something in the field. Looking at the upgrades, did get infantry training as well.
Enemy ground
So that is
forces
maybe a
have
bit
claimed the
further of a
sector.
delay to VeeDemo's tech.
We have territories exposed out there.
And maybe his fuel control hasn't been that sharp. But I think maybe at this kind of rank level. Oh! Huge hit from the airburst there. Pacifier's getting wiped. At this rank level is what I was going to say is making exact judgments on how much fuel your enemies has can be pretty hard. Maybe even judging whether the enemy's got infantry training can be a bit difficult, but if you can pick up on those details, you can make more educated decisions about what you're building and when to be aggressive as well. So WeakTendon suffering some big losses. Here he comes again. Does he have any upgrades? No. He's just suiciding his crudshits in here as well. Oh, 4 models dead in the vehicle explosion. That is a catastrophe. Get 3 on the squad, by the way.
Cache is being established at this location.
Oh man, they just survived. That is crazy. Something's just the Fit 3 is just too strong here. Luckily, the squad was in cover, the assault greens, otherwise it would have gotten beaten even worse by the Vet 1 ability there. But so far, WeakTendon, I feel like, has done a pretty good job on fuel control. He's been controlling like the middle fuels, maybe more than he has rights to do. Okay, did drop out the back here from VeeDemo. It's a weird spot for it. Don't know how often he's going to be up there to use it. He's ticking up now. He's also building a cache on the Muni point. Interesting. You know, like usually you don't run out of munis too much at this stage. Panzer III's coming around for a big old move. I'm sure he doesn't know about this muni cache, but he finds it just after it finishes. It's quite unlucky for VeeDemo. And as VeeDemo, this is the stage of the game where you probably need to be considering like a second AT gun. Because, as we just saw, AT gun gets decrewed. Now you're in a bit of trouble. Often better to go better safe than sorry in these circumstances. If you're stalling up for your medium or heavy tank, just pick up the second AT gun early, because very easy to just lose the game by not having a second AT gun. But a little bit sloppy there from WeakTendon. Didn't run away from a snaring squad. Takes engine damage and allows the AT gun to finish the job afterwards. Should have kited. He shouldn't have allowed that snare to come off. But oh no! He loses palm greens picking up the AT gun. They get sniped just as it happens. That is painful. Sapper's on the chase down as well. He's built another Kranschützen to capture the map. The T-gun's really far up the field, so even if it does get decrewed again, these guys could be running out to do something about it. So it looks like WeakTendon's going to steal that one away. like he didn't choose the Tiger Ace. He does have quite a lot of fuel saved up. I was wondering if maybe he's going to be stalling for that, but doesn't look like it. Hutchinson goes on a bit of a suicide mission to kill the sniper. Just surviving though. What they're planting there? Mine?
Munitions point is being overrun.
VeeDemo's got a lot of resources saved up. I imagine it would be a Matilda that he's going for. Should have that in production by now. Walking Stuka, meanwhile, for WeakTendon. This is just a really bad choice. You know, if you look at the composition of VeeDemo, it doesn't have team weapons. So that's one of the easiest targets for Walking Stuka to hit. Just doesn't exist. Doesn't have nearly enough anti-tank to stop a tank comfortably. It just doesn't have a strong enough front line to allow the Walking Stuka to operate without getting run off the field. So, bad choice Walking Stuka here. Should have been more Panzer IIIs. Should have tried to push out like 2 Panzer IIIs, then maybe the Walking Stuka after that. VeeDemo's going to go for the Crusader here. I think this patch, usually double Matildas is the best option. Backed up by like double AT guns with weapon training. Can be pretty strong. Crusaders can be good, especially if you're trying to like flank a heavy tank. Maybe like 2 or 3 Crusaders, still very handy, but... Or if you're trying to do like a timing attack, get a medium as soon as you got the fuel together. Going out to the far edge of the Walking Stuka. Hello, scatter. Doesn't drop a single model. Oh, that is a Matilda. Okay, good. Maybe I misread the icon. And Panzer is getting wiped. So VeeDemo's in a very comfortable position now. You have the AT gun back there. It was going in. Getting some big hits, but taking some big hits as well. Decent idea with the assault smoke. I don't actually fully know what that does. 25% additional damage and 25% weapon pen. Alright, so it is pretty good. Against the heavy tank especially. Okay, he's gone for an 88. That's also a pretty decent idea against Matildas, but as I said, he doesn't have enough of a front line to keep this safe. We'll just get overrun by the infantry at this stage. If you had like a machine gun, maybe you could get away with this, but... at the moment, it's probably too hard. So we've got the 5-man upgrade now on the SSBs. Targeting the fuel, and so is VeeDemo. Good dodge. Heavy artillery, think what's the most likely target? The only point on the map that's being captured because there's nothing else in vision. Start dodging at that point. Oh, not quite able to get the snare off. Oh my god. The scatter on that, not looking good. Does more damage to his own units than to the enemies. Tries to throw some grenades into the retreat path, I think. The SSB's hitting Vet 3. There's such a huge Vet advantage. Getting an easy kill. And then popping their vanishing act retreat thereafter.
We're losing a victory point.
Another CWT. It's an unusual choice at this stage. Putting foot guards inside it. Oh man. One strategy I still mean to do at some stage is just to like mass these with sections with boys AT rifles inside. See
Vehicles are
if it's
receiving
possible.
training, Commander.
I feel like it would be pretty bad, but I haven't tried it yet. Haven't tried this either, the bazookas. One of the problems with this is quite a lot of population will be tying up in a unit that's maybe not that strong.
Territory point disabled.
Okay, able to destroy the VP there. Well, he's trying to get some experience. Picking up some fallen lads. Oh, trying to go after the sniper on the capture point. I was predicting maybe be over here somewhere. The sniper dodged away nicely. You can see the walking Stuka has done basically nothing. It's got like a tiny lick of experience. It took like 2/3 health off a full-strength Tommy. Didn't drop a single model. I feel like that's pretty common result
Territory sector destroyed.
in this kind of situation. Walking Stuka's better when the army's getting really big, like 80 plus, and there's just more targets on the field. Makes it harder to dodge as the enemy. Hard to pick out where it's targeting upon hearing the noise. At the moment it's been pretty simple.
Victory points are balanced. We now have the advantage.
Okay, foot guards jumping out, looking to do some damage. The damage they do. Another assault green calling.
Jerry has 300 points remaining.
I don't think assault greens are like particularly good this patch. They seem a bit underwhelming to me. And they're up against some really stiff competition, like already vetted, brained up sections with training. Foot guards would have just much better submachine guns, model for model, and the SSBs as well. Getting a pretty obvious one, but VeeDemo doesn't dodge. Takes 4 model losses. Focused over here, 88 getting deployed. Might be a little bit too late. Truck getting out of there. Hardy dropped on the 88. Smoke's clearing off though. Maybe it's not. T-Gun getting decrewed. Matilda's super low but surviving. Oh wow, he's still in range? Thought the 88 was too far away. That's a big surprise to me. Alright, Matilda goes down. So does the 88 though. He still got his mid truck, didn't get destroyed. Got the repair rate on that super slow because he's only got 2 models. But yeah, once sections and once the British infantry hits Vet 3 with the training center upgrades, man, you just drop like flies. I think this probably just needs to stay here, honestly. Lose bomb. Oh, a little bit too late. But yeah, map control looking dominant right now for VeeDemo.
Establishing a dead drop.
Checking another dead drop down. Surprised the Panzer III didn't keep the pressure on here
We're making
until
progress.
he forced these
The enemy
guys to
is down
retreat.
to 200. Gentlemen, take what you need.
Now getting to heal these lads up, thanks to the dead drop. Meanwhile, though, WeakTendon has been able to recrew the AT gun. Reinforce this back up to full strength. So, kind of recovered decently well from all this. Straightening up pretty quickly, though. The SSBs need to get out of here. Oh, here comes a bazooka. Bazooka bus going in. P3's slow to spin its turret around. Goes down and he's looking for more. 88 setting up back here. Walking Stuka. Drops a gammon bomb. Jumps back in the truck. Should come in out of suppression immediately as soon as he's in there. Now he could go hunting for that walking Stuka. No. AT gun spins around and gets him. Definitely VeeDemo going for style points there. Doing some clowning around with that clown cart. Sniper. Doing nicely. Polishing off the mid truck. And WeakTendon getting a bit salty. So yeah, I'd say WeakTendon, I'd probably avoid rebuilding Krudschützens unless in very specific circumstances, like if you really need map control, feel like the enemy doesn't have the latitude to push out to the edges and contest it, you feel like you're got good enough map awareness as well that Krudschützen is not going to die when operating on the edges, then it can be a pretty powerful tool, but otherwise you're just going to fall further and further behind in terms of combat strength, and then you're just going to lose map control directly by not being able to win any fights. Generally needs to consider like having a strong enough army to maintain the front line before going for icing on top units like the walking Stuka, which, yeah, just as we saw in this game, missed its first, well, did very little for its first like 5 barrages and didn't have much of an impact on the game. Panzer IIIs would have been much better. Panzer III spam. Meanwhile, for VeeDemo, I'd say that was alright. Like, went for the early healing, which kind of did delay the CWT timing. And just generally, I think CWT maybe could have been built still about a minute earlier than that as well. So I do think it's extremely strong. So much anti-infantry firepower, a brained up section inside the CWT. Very, very good at getting squad wipes, but need to hit it early because it falls off fast. You know, if you're up against 8-ride, flak feeling, you really got to get the maximum out of it before it falls off. And maybe missing the first Matilda timing slightly, but other than that, some cute plays with the SSBs. Some bazooka bus action, something that I haven't done. Yeah, as I said, I don't think it's that good. I think maybe what makes the US bazooka bus a bit better is that the bazooka squad is so much less expensive than the SSB. I mean, the foot guards comes online earlier, so maybe you can use it to counter things like Stugdies and can get the super bazooka upgrade. You don't have to wait until you get the foot guards like Vet 3 damage boost or whatever before it starts doing a meaningful amount of damage. But it's still fun to see, and could have been a really cute play if he killed the walking Stuka and base with that as well. It's a nice idea, but that AT gun sealed the deal before it could finish the job on it. And those base MGs, they do have quite a lot of penetration. They do a lot of damage to like the vehicles that have 8 or so armor. Just chewing through its health as well. But yeah, I'm not too convinced by Special Service as a battle group at this stage. And yeah, against DAC, I feel like the territory point destruction is just not that like good. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the upcoming patch. See if it becomes a bit more well-rounded into the late game. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like, again, recast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.